What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. As you can see, I have the mat out, got the Weehaw tools out or bits out with the Scout Driver tools mat. All this is linked down in the description below. It's towards the bottom underneath the knife recommendations, because if you're kind of new into knives, I have recommendations for knives that I've carried for a while or handled for a while that I really like. What we're going to be doing today is the long-term disassembly and maintenance of my Kaiser Sheepdog NTV TV 10V steel. I've had this one for about 8 months. It gets a fair amount of use considering what I have in my inventory today, meaning so this doesn't get carried a ton primarily, but it does get some use. And as you can tell, I've been out here doing some maintenance on other knives. Wanted to go ahead and get this one done today. What you'll need for this particular disassembly, because it is a captive pivot, you're going to need T6 screws, or T6 bit, sorry, which is in this particular CRKT tool. This one is made by Scout Tools. I really like a lot of the Scout tool designs. I like them because they're well made, but they're affordable. I don't really want to spend a ton of money on Timascus tools and things of that nature because I'm just not there with my collecting and everything of that nature. But I love this one because it does come with really high quality Weehaw bits, so I appreciate that. I also like the fact that it's in tool storage, and the reason I like that is because I actually keep a let's see here, doesn't want to, not sure why I'm struggling with getting this in here. Oh, there we go. I like to carry it in my Maxpedition case. This has pretty much Loctite. The lighter is for lanyards. I don't do them too often, but I have made quite a few, and I make lanyards for other things as well, or paracord stuff, pin for notes and things of that nature. So this fits right down in there with this pin clip. Yeah, this clip in leash in there, just drops right in really nicely. And then I have the T8 that came out of this set inside this Scout tool, which I don't think it actually says it anywhere, but this is their Blurple anodized one. Still under $100, a little bit more pricey than this. This is, I think, around that $30 price point. Really worth it though. So let's go ahead and we will just remove the body screws because I don't think the pocket clip is necessary. Oh, is it T8 all the way around? I apologize. I take back what I said earlier. It's T8 all the way around. I don't think you need to remove the pocket clip to take the liner and mic Carter scale off as well. There we go. So I'm going to set those in these little pockets that I like here. Which is one of the many reasons why I love this mat. There's also two, I know I don't really show it over here, but if you have steel hardware, there's magnets over here for pockets that you can put that in there as well. Go ahead and take the pivot out. This is a really easy knife to maintain. You've got 3 screws taken apart and you're ready to disassemble. I lift up on the lock bar and the whole thing will just slide right apart. And as you can see, super easy to disassemble. I leave the stop pin down on this side so that when I go to reassemble it, it's no issues. These have fairly large looking bearings. They are ceramic. Looks like it's pretty dingy dirty, so we'll go ahead and clean the blade off. Whoops, as I fling the bearings across the table. You can do a dry wipe down, or if you use it to get into a lot of chemicals or things of that nature, then I would recommend using a little bit of rubbing alcohol on the cloth directly to take it apart. But this came pretty clean, wasn't too dirty, and I just wanted to do a disassembly video for you that might have a Sheepdog. It should be pretty much the same maintenance regardless if it's the mini, the XL, or just the traditional size. So you can see this is a plastic washer. It has the dark color ceramic beads in there, which is really nice that this is fully caged, and it is a nylon washer. So those work really well. They seem to hold up nicely. I'm going to go ahead and just get any oil off the lock bar, and I'm not going to worry about taking the pin out, the washers out. I'm just going to clean those off. You can see a little bit there where the track is formed, and it's really smooth action. So we'll go ahead and pinch the stop pin so it doesn't fall out, and then just a little shake will get the other ceramic bearing out with the nylon washer. Go ahead and clean that as well. If I can remember what I'll do right here, if I can think of it, I will try to tell you what skies Rocket Glide skiff bearings go here. I think it's the 5mm. I will definitely look on my spreadsheet to check that as well. And then I'm just going to clean off the pivot and clean off around the bearings. The stop pin, and make sure that's in good shape. I believe it's captive. Yeah, it's captive. Sorry, I had to look off screen. So you can really see right there the flat spot where it's captive so that it doesn't move. I really do like that for a maintenance perspective, really easy to maintain. So what I'll do, I've never tried to do it this way before. I'm going to try to bring it up here so you can see the drops, and then I'm hoping as I watch through the camera, whoa, there we go. Try to do I'm just going to do those two. I'm going to throw the bearings down on there real quick and rub them in because I don't want it to get on the micarta, which is probably too late because that was way more than I anticipated. But you can really see that the micarta, you can look on this side, and then as you flip it over, you can really see where the patina has taken very nicely to that. So just going to work it in just a little bit more to make sure the bearings are rolling and picking that oil up. And then what I'll also do here so you can see it is just, and I'm going to clean a little bit of the oil off real quick. You can see as I try to look over the screen, just a little dab there, just like that. Should pick up very nicely on the blade, keeping it nice and lubed so that you have no issues with the reassembly. So now that I have it sort of starting to get together, I'm going to just zoom in later. With this, I'll drop it down on here so you can see what the drops look like zoomed in. A little bit easier for me to come down, and I should have moved the microphone so that you can still hear me, but a little bit easier for me to move down to the knife to see where everything is. And then same thing, just going to spin it a little bit, get that worked in. I'm going to take a drop in front of the detent ball track so that I can make sure that the ball's picking that up. And then don't really have to do this, but you can put a couple of drops on the washer as well. And since the track is worn in, we won't mess with it any. You're ready to reassemble. That's it. Super easy knife to maintain. I really do like that. This is definitely one of my favorite Kaisers, but I feel like lately Kaiser's kind of been pushing really hard to get things out, and I've had a couple of their knives come through that didn't feel as well made as they have in the past. I don't know if it's if they've changed suppliers, if something's changed internally or in-house that has caused that issue, but I've noticed that some of their knives are feeling kind of budget. And what I mean by that is, like, when you actually handle them, they have like a hollow sound to them. They feel flimsier. They're really easy to get out of sorts so that the centering is off. So like feels like the liners are bending with the scales and things of that nature when it's not like a carbon fiber scale, like their micarta variants and things like that. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like lately I've had more than a few that were like that, and then like a couple of their originals, and I think the Assassin had a lot of button stick going on, and I know how to get rid of that, but I just feel like the knife shouldn't come like that for that much money. I feel for that much money, it should be really well made, you know, even though it is a budget knife. So let's see, any blade play? A little bit of blade play, so we'll tighten it up just a smidge. Oops. All right, let's see what that feels like. Just a hint, just a hint. And I recommend making, small adjustments like that. And then I would go ahead, the oil and everything that you have in the pivot, just go ahead and try to work that in a little bit in advance of like fidgeting with it so that you got some consistency. But this is really very smooth, even with the coated blade. And I did take this coated blade, I didn't mention this earlier, but the coated blade, I did do a stone wash, tumble wash with it, and I really like the way that it came out. it just beat down like this dark matte finish to make it look a little bit more charcoal colored, and then you can see where it did the lines and everything like that, and it did a nice job with the pocket clip as well. Still one of my favorites. It does have that, like when that you hear that detent lock, it's like it doesn't sound very it's just like a flop or a plop. I don't know. Just not my favorite. I think other budget manufacturers out there are starting to do it a little bit better than Kaiser, and I'd like to see them step it up. I love that they have these button lock models that they're throwing out there, and they're fat carbon models. They're very nice looking, but and their crossbar locks are really well done. I do want to compliment them on that. They did a phenomenal job with their crossbar locks. Great sounds, great feel. The build quality on them are feeling better, and I honestly would say, even though they're over $100 for those knives, because crossbar locks are more complex to build and they have more parts that are associated with them, it makes sense. Long as they keep that level of quality up there with those, I'm okay with those. But I just feel like their knives that are closer to that $50 to $75 range have kind of suffered here as of late, just for me. But anyway, let me know what you think. I know a lot of people out there love their Kaisers, and I understand why, because you do get good quality for money. I just feel like Civivi, Petrified Fish, QB, SRM, I think there's a couple of other ones out there, really, and Simcut too, have just really stepped the game up when it comes to the budget knives, the build quality, how they feel when you're using them, and what you're getting from them in return as well. If you enjoyed today's video and it helped you, you can do me a favor and leave a like. It does help me with the algorithm on YouTube. If you are enjoying the content, I'd love to have you subscribe and follow along as I continue to bring you the content. I'm hoping that you're enjoying it and will consider. For everyone out there that is already subscribed and has the notification bell set to all and leaves comments on the regular, I love you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.